So you're a social outcast. You feel like no one likes you and you just always mess up in social situations. You try to fit in with the crowd, but then you always end up getting ghosted or you just can't seem to make any genuine friendships. And to top it all off, girls think you're fucking yuck. Well, I'm here to say I was the exact same. For the longest time, from like age 14 to 19, I was always that quiet kid who had no friends, who always struggled to find people to hang around with because, I couldn't find anyone on the same wavelength as me. Which means people thought I was that quiet kid, People thought that I just genuinely wanted to keep to myself and, be by myself, right? No. In reality, I wanted more people talking to me. I hated being alone. But I was just too quiet and scared and insecure to be loud and voice my opinions on things. So people just wrote me off as that weird quiet kid that wanted to be by himself. So I was in this weird spot because I couldn't fit in with anyone at school, so I just had to rely on getting this fake brotherhood and status in online on gaming, video games, right? Because I wasn't getting that shit in real life, so I might as well go to the virtual world and get it there. So I was this charismatic, cool leader type of guy on video games, on PlayStation parties, on Discord. But in real life, I was this husk of a human being who struggled making friends and couldn't attract any girls. So I was living two different lives. One was a lie, and one wasn't. The only thing was, it was literally in the virtual world. So yeah, man, pretty much I was living my entire teenagehood a lie and I wasn't living up to my full potential, yada yada, you know how it is. But at the end of the day, it is what it is at the end of the day, right? So listen up, because I'm gonna teach you exactly how to fit in with everybody. Not everybody. Don't fit in with everybody. Don't fit in with that crackhead outside your local gas station. Because now, it's a completely different story for me. So after I left high school, leaving a pretty undesirable impression on everyone of myself, I realized the reason nobody wanted to hang around with me, it wasn't because of anyone else. It wasn't because of the country I was living in. It was because of me. I was an undesirable person, so of course no one wanted to hang around with me. I realized that I needed to make the change because nobody is coming to save me. And as a guy, as a man, you should be fully responsible for everything that happens in your own life, your own actions. You should be responsible for all of that, because then you can actually change your own circumstances instead of blaming the fucking weather for why you can't get a girl. So I started watching these YouTubers on telling me how to become a high value man and get more people to like you. So I followed it. I followed everything to a T because I had nothing to lose at that point. So these guys specifically told me the reason I was lonely, the reason why people didn't like me, was because of my looks, and I had to improve my looks in order for people to start liking me, right? And since I had such low self-esteem and I hated myself, I followed everything. I started going to the gym, looks maxing, and I became much more attractive. Don't get me wrong, this was a difficult journey. I had to spend countless hours into crafting my physique, fixing my fucking acne, all that bullshit. And yeah, I went through a complete glow up, so is that it? Did I win? A girl's pulling my pants off on command now? Nope. I still had no friends. Even if these gurus were telling me to just looks max, bro, I had still no friends, and I completely gave up on friendships and romantical endeavors. Sure, hitting the gym and looks maxing helped me start conversations with people more and probably got people to like me maybe like 1% more. Sure, can't deny that. But the reason I didn't fit in wasn't because of my looks, bro. It was simply because I was boring and had no greater purpose in life, no greater goal, no big goal you're striving for. I had no purpose in life, nothing pushing me forward, so naturally that was reflected in my conversations with people. I would lack this masculine youth and essence that, if I did have it, would be very attractive to people that I would speak to, right? So basically, I went from a unattractive, boring dude to a slightly more attractive, boring dude. Basically, I was coasting in life and just going with the flow, and that was reflected in my social life. Because I only made friends with the people who are the same as me, But truthfully, for the longest time, I never even wanted to be like that in the first place. Like I said before, it was because of my insecurity that I didn't want to speak up and voice my actual opinions on things. So I just ended up sort of faking my personality so I can at least fit in with the people who I don't even fit in with in the first place, just so I wasn't lonely anymore. Fuck, that is sad. Let me get this straight with you though. You don't have to fit in with everyone. What's important is that you find people who you personally vibe with and you fit in with them, because if you fit in with everyone, if you speak to everyone, you're speaking to no one. You don't have to entertain everyone you see. That was also a problem that I had. Since I always felt lonely, I always felt like I had to entertain everyone I saw. I always felt like I had to try super hard in conversations to hold their attention, even if I had to like embarrass myself in the process and like start climbing the walls or some shit. Because in my head, any attention was good attention, so I would do anything to make the other person happy. And like one of those things was I would always switch up my opinions on things. Look, I mean, I'm not really a car type of guy, but everyone in my age seems to love cars, and whenever someone would talk about cars to me, I would always like be enthusiastic about it, even if I didn't give a shit about it. I mean, if my car can take me from point A to point B, then I'm happy. But yeah, basically, you just need to be authentic to who you are, because you're not someone else's bitch. At the end of the day, are you really going to be happy living like that your whole life? Being someone else's opinion, basically. So, I mean, I realized this and I did some thinking. I needed a bigger goal. I needed something that I could work on every single day and be happy that I'm doing it. Because if I found what I was looking for, then talking to people and fitting in with the right crowd would be 5 times easier. And so I found it. I found a greater purpose in my life, which naturally made me act authentic to who I really am. For now, at least. Because purposes, all that, it always changes, right? But for now, I found it. So I mean, after finding out my purpose, what do you know? I'm the same charismatic leader that I was in video games now in real life. People actually like me now. People hold conversations with me. I can actually attract girls. Wow, what a fucking coincidence. I don't have to lie to anyone anymore. I don't have to act in this certain way. I'm just me. I'm authentically me. All because I sorted my life out. Because if you don't sort out your life out first, you can't expect anyone to sort it out for you. And I mean, if you're this husk of a man who has nothing going on in his life, you're only going to be attracting the same type of people to you. It's the law of attraction after all. So with all this being said, I mean, how the fuck do you find your purpose? Well, it's not that easy. Finding something worth doing isn't easy. You just need to experience life a little bit and go through the things that make you more of a developed type of person. You need to go through certain things to formulate your purpose. Generally, the more harder things you go through, the more things you do in life, in general, the more easier it will be to formulate your purpose, and the more easier it will be to find something you love doing. For me, the very first thing was the gym. Look, I don't regret going to the gym or working on my looks at all. In fact, I think going to the gym and building a good physique was the first big goal that I had that helped me formulate my purpose and helped me like act like my true authentic self. But that wasn't enough. See, at some point I realized that going to the gym and working on my looks, it wasn't anything special, right? Mainly because I realized that, you know, your looks aren't everything, plus progress is slow as fuck. So because of this, I found my new purpose, and it's to help young guys beat loneliness. Beat this male loneliness epidemic, because I know how shitty it can feel to be lonely all the time. I know how bad that shit feels. I know how crappy it can feel to feel like you have no friends, or you just feel like no one likes you. It's a horrible place to be, and that's why I just want to help as many young guys with that as possible, which is why I made this YouTube channel and why I created my community. The School of Studs, it's my online community for guys, young guys, trying to level up their dating game, their looks, just trying to be less lonely in general. If you're interested, it's the first link in the description below. But yeah, man, I know how it feels not to fit in. And I know how shitty it can feel, but if you watch this far in the video, then I mean, you're already doing way better than everyone else, right? I mean, that's obvious. So if you need help, personally, you, the person who's still watching this far in the video, if you need help with anything, just comment it below this video and I'll reply and I'll help you out. Alright, thank you. And don't forget to subscribe. Ding 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 ding.